All right, so I want to welcome us to the afternoon session, the pre-New York session analysis. And today is Monday, the 28th of October, 2024. So, further to what I mentioned in the morning, we are not having any trading fundamental this afternoon. The event that will happen will come up by 6:30 p.m. and it's not really tradable. And that's the speech by the Bank of Canada Governor Macklem. So, we'll just skip that and go over to our technicals. So on the technicals, we have some setup that is emerging, which should evolve into tradable opportunities this afternoon session. Some are actually swing and some are intraday. Now, I think I should just start with the intraday first so that we can take advantage of that earlier. For the intraday setup, I have GBP AUD. It's one of the instruments I mentioned in the morning session. Yeah, this is GBP AUD. You can see it's gradually declining, gradually evolving into a tradable opportunity. So this is GBP AUD on the 1 hour time frame. On the 4 hour, I mentioned it in the morning, we had a rejection candle which formed at a resistance level on the daily time frame. Now the current candle, the one after that is a doji. The current candle is also a rejection candle. These are all giving us the view that the market is ready to break out to the downward side on this instrument. And if we take it to the 1 hour, we can see we have a valid rising wedge pattern on this instrument. So if I look at my uh, Fibonacci tool, well, using Fibonacci to gauge entry here might even give us a delayed entry. So what I'll suggest will happen is this. The moment price breaks out below this trend line, you should be ready to trigger a sell on GBP New Zealand. So just like in the morning session, I still maintain my bearish outlook on the GBP New Zealand. And the other pair I'm looking at, which is equally intraday, is the Euro card. All right, so this is the Euro card on 1 hour. If we go up to the 4 hour time frame, we can see that price is in a downtrend on this instrument. Now, not only is it on a downtrend, we also have this previous support turned resistance. We have a support here and it turned to a resistance, a resistance. So technically, we should expect a decline in price on Euro card. So if we flip down to the 1 hour time frame, this is what we have. Now I can see this as forming a head and shoulder pattern, which should lead to a bearish breakout. Now you'll be looking at taking a sell trade once price breaks out below this most recent low. That should be the point where you look at taking a sell. Or otherwise, if you want to be triggered into an early entry, we might also, okay, we need to be careful with that because there will be a speech by 6:30 p.m. What I was thinking we could do is also to look for maybe a sell stop order below this region and look at the stop loss above, that range. But then I just remember that there's going to be a speech by 6:30 p.m. by Governor Macklem of Canada, so we need to trade with caution. So, but eventually, I strongly believe price will evolve into this head and shoulder, and we should see a breakout. And at that point, we can use this region as an entry level. That's the neckline region. So, I hold a bearish outlook on the Euro card. I'm bearish on the Euro card. It's a 1 hour set also expected to trigger in the course of today. Now, the other setup I have, they are swing related and they are all still in line with the analysis we had in the morning. USDJPY is getting clearer that are going to be on a downtrend. Unlike the morning when we're not too sure, but now I think it's getting a lot clearer that we should be getting ready for a downtrend on the USDJPY because you can see price has formed a valid rising wedge pattern at a resistance level on a higher time frame, daily or weekly, whichever one. So if price breaks out downwards here, then we should look at selling the USDPY. and you need a confirmation of RSI clearly below 50, to trigger a sell on USD whenever that happens. So I'm bearish on the USD on 4 hour. And our earlier analysis on the GBP USD is still very, very valid. We held a bullish outlook on the GBP USD in the morning. Now, some of them might not get it confused. I'm looking at a bearish trade on the GBP AUD. I'm looking at a bullish trade on GBP USD. Is that not a conflict? It's not a conflict. Now, the idea is this: when you are doing swing is more a medium-term trend. So it's possible to see a trade that is bullish on 4 hour and yet bearish on 1 hour. Very possible. The one you should avoid is a scenario where maybe you're buying GBP USD on 4 hour and you're selling GBP AUD also on 4 hour. That could lead to issues. But if you're buying GBP USD on 4 hour, you're selling GBP AUD on 1 hour, that is still very perfect and very normal because there are two different time frames. So I still maintain my bearish outlook on 1 hour on the GBP AUD, while I'm still very much bullish on the GBP USD on 4 hour. So for the GBP USD, I'll be waiting for price to clearly break out above the current resistance level. And that resistance level is the neckline of the inverse head and shoulder pattern, which is formed on the 4 hour. So whenever price breaks that level, that will trigger the medium-term bullish trade on GBP USD. And the profit potential for this trade setup can be as much as, let's check it, as much as about 170 pips to Fibonacci 50 and about 235 pips for Fibonacci 61.8. So I maintain a bullish outlook on the GBP USD on 4 hour. And I still maintain similar outlook on the Euro USD also on 4 hour. So here is Euro USD. You can see that price is trading around a support level and an uptrend, support and uptrend from higher time frame, while we're looking at an inverse head and shoulder on 4 hour, which is expected to trigger price into the bullish direction. I'll be looking at price breaking above this current high. That's the resistance line I drew to trigger an entry on GBP USD. So whenever price gets to this region, then that will be a time to trigger a bullish trade on GBP USD. Sorry, this is on Euro USD, but we're also bullish on the GBP USD. And for the JPY pairs, I'm bearish on all of them. I'm bearish on all JPY pairs. And that will make me look at the CAD JPY and the GBP JPY. Now, I can see that this is CAD JPY on the 4 hour time frame. It's giving us a perfect pricing wave pattern. On the daily time frame, okay, we don't really have any, okay, not a direct one, but there's been time in the past when price actually formed a resistance on this instrument, but that's not really the focus now. The focus now is that we can clearly see that price is forming a double top pattern on 4 hour with a rising wedge pattern, which is expected to trigger some medium term, massively bullish movement on the CAD JPY. So I'm bearish on the CAD JPY. On 4 hour. I'm bearish on CAD JPY on 4 hour. And I'm also bearish on the GBP JPY. All right, so this is GBP JPY. Price is trading around the previous resistance, the previous support tone resistance. Technically, that should give a bearish outlook on this instrument. And if we go down to 4 hour, we can see it's trading around a rising wedge pattern. So price is expected to break out to trigger a bearish trade on the GBP JPY. All right, so that'll be all from analysis this afternoon. We've looked at quite some instruments. We've looked at the USD JPY, and I said we're bearish on 4 hour on the USD JPY. We are also bearish on the USD CHF. I don't think I mentioned that, at least in this session. but we are very much bearish on the USD CHF. You can see price at a resistance, and we have a rising wedge. Now, for USD CHF, to be safe for price to break out below this support zone before you trigger a sell on the USD CHF. So we're bearish on the USD JPY on 4 hour. We're bearish on the USD CHF on 4 hour. We're bullish on GBP USD and Euro USD on 4 hour time frame. Now, I want to sound a caution here. Please avoid buying USD CHF and selling Euro USD. Just focus on one direction. If it is USD JPY and USD CHF, you feel like selling, sell those two. And if it is GBP USD and Euro USD, you feel like buying, buy those two. Take instruments that are positively correlated, going in the same direction. You understand? That's what the focus should be on. Don't interchange it. Don't say you're buying USD CHF, you are now selling Euro USD. No, you can buy both GBP USD and Euro USD, or you sell USD CHF and USD JPY. That way, you'll be able to balance the risk on each of those instruments. And I'm also bearish on the GBP AUD and the Euro card on 1 hour time frame. All right, so that'll be all from my end this afternoon session. I'll take a few questions and we'll bring the class to a close.
Sir, please, your voice was breaking. So there's this. Okay. There were these two that you say we cannot buy and sell at the same time. I didn't get them. You
all
say
right,
we can buy.
I said we're bearish on the dollar, so we're bearish on USD JPY and USD CHF, and we're also simultaneously bullish on the GBP USD and the Euro USD. So what I said is that don't say you are selling USD CHF and you're not buying Euro USD at the same time. Instead of doing that, you can sell both USD JPY and USD CHF when they mature for a trade. I'm not saying enter now because it's not yet time to sell. We're just analyzing. So you can sell both USD JPY and USD CHF, or you can buy Euro USD and GBP USD. So avoid saying I'm selling USD CHF, I'm buying GBP USD. It's better you trade instruments that are both positively correlated, both going in the same direction most of the time.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So this square, I've attended to the GBP USD. Mr. Kele, USD card, we're bearish on the USD card. And I mentioned that in the morning analysis session because USD card is trading around a resistance zone on the weekly time frame. Now, except if the news later today from the Governor Macklin from calendar, except it changes the dynamics around the USD card, around the card, Canadian dollar, except that. Otherwise, we should see more bearish movement on the USD card. So this is USD card on the weekly time frame, and you can see that price is trading around a weekly resistance zone. So on the daily, we can see it's trading within that zone. It's not breaking out of it. And on 4 hour, we'll have a rising wedge. Now, if everything works out fine, then over time, you should expect a breakout in the bearish direction on USD card. And at the point of breakout, your RSI should clearly be showing you if a data that is less than 50 as a confirmation of a bearish trade on the USD card. So we're bearish on the USD card on 4 hour. This squared gold. Okay. I maintain we're bearish on the dollar. So if we're bearish on the dollar, then we should be looking for at least a bullish movement on gold. So I said it in the morning session that for you to buy gold, for me, I would rather wait for price to break out above this resistance, minor resistance zone, and retrace to touch that zone again, then continue moving. That's what I will do from a professional angle on this instrument. So don't just enter a blind trade on gold now. Don't enter a trade based on assumption. Get the facts right. Gold will go higher if it breaks this minor resistance and drops below it as a support for further bullish continuation. So that's my outlook on gold. Euro USD and GBP USD, unique, you joined late, but we're bullish on both of them on 4-hour. USD JPY is bearish on 4-hour. That's a rising wedge pattern. GBP CHF. Okay, I'll attend directly to this one. Now, GBP CHF is kind of ranging. Now, this is the instrument on the daily time frame. The trend around here is bearish. Now, price has also touched the trend line multiple times, and price is back to the trend line again. So we expect a further crash in the price of GBP/CHF. That's on the daily time frame. However, on the 4-hour time frame, can clearly see that price is also, trading around a resistance level, which is holding for the previous movement of this instrument on the 4-hour and daily, for GBP/CHF. So technically, we should be looking for an opportunity to sell further. So we can flip back now to 1-hour time frame. And this is 1-hour time frame. We can draw our trend line over there and a second one at the back. All right, so that's a perfect rising wedge on a descending trend line and a resistance level on the 4-hour. So you can see that price is about to break out below that lower trend line. So I would advise you wait for a new candle to open below that region. Then you can trigger a sell safely on GBP/CHF. Okay, so that'll be all for this session. Don't forget again, this Friday by 1:15 p.m., we're trading NFP live. If you have an account that is not verified, go ahead and verify your account. And after verification, make sure you put trading fund into the account, because that will be your pass to join the session, the live trading NFP session on Friday. All right, it's a bye from me. Take care and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Have a great day, sir. Thank you.
You too, man.
Yes.